Your pantry looks like it came from a health influencer's feed. Your breakfast is a parade of healthy labels. So, why does your body always seem tired and bloated instead of giving you the vitality and the flat stomach that all these products promise? In our last decree, we declared the end of the tyranny of calories. But if you've stopped counting and still feel tired, bloated, and operating on reserve power, you need to pay close attention. Because you likely escaped the prison of calories only to fall into the trap of healthy labels. I am the sovereign of vitality, and I have been in this exact place. And what I discovered is that our energy isn't stolen by a lack of discipline, but by a lack of clarity. That is why today's decree is a hunt. We are going to expose the 3 biggest energy vampires that disguise themselves as healthy food in your pantry. And our weapon to hunt them will be the truth, the raw, naked truth behind the marketing of each one. Prepare to discover the truth about your protein bar, the zero-fat farce, and the trap of your green juice. The first vampire, by the way, is the most convenient, and might be in your handbag right now. The first truth we will expose today is also the most convenient lie you tell yourself. The one that lives in your office drawer, whispering promises of energy and practicality. The decree is this: your healthy bar, whether for energy or protein, is not your ally. It is a very expensive dessert with an impeccable disguise. An imposter that not only sabotages your performance behind the scenes, but is the architect of your 4 p.m. brain fog. It's the fraud that sells you the illusion of control, while stealing your clarity and making you feel foolish for believing the packaging. Think of your vitality as a financial empire. You need capital that works for you, generating energy interest throughout the day. And what does this energy bar do? It offers you a payday loan from a loan shark. The bank, the bar, advances you 30 minutes of an artificial euphoria, a glucose spike that leaves you momentarily alert. But immediately after, the collectors of your empire, your stress hormones, come to execute the debt. And the interest, darling, is brutal. Fatigue, brain fog, irritability, and an uncontrollable craving for the next loan to get you out of the red. And you might be thinking, but Sovereign, I don't fall for that trick. I'm smarter than that. I eat protein bars. Ah, darling. Then the scam is even more sophisticated. The protein bar is the arrogant cousin of the cereal bar. It sells itself as your muscle's best friend, the perfect post-workout reward. The truth? Most of them are a candy bar with a fake Harvard degree. Let's look at this athlete's resume. To maintain the sweet taste without using sugar, they fill you with sugar alcohols: maltitol, xylitol, erythritol. Do you know what these nice names do in your gut? They ferment. The result? That one-way ticket to bloating, gas, and discomfort. And the protein? Often from cheap, ultra-processed sources that your body can barely absorb. In the end, you're holding a lab product with a list of 20-30 ingredients you can't pronounce, representing the exact opposite of our philosophy of real food. You eat the bar dreaming of six-pack abs and end up looking 4 months pregnant. You think you're building muscle, but in reality, you're just building a rebellion in your gut microbiota. That brain fog that hits you at 4 p.m., right during that decisive meeting with the board, the irritability that makes you snap at a teammate, the exhaustion that makes you dream of the couch instead of acting on your next big project. That's not you. That's the metabolic hangover from your healthy bar. And that impatience isn't just your brain begging for glucose. It's also the echo of the rebellion happening in your gut. When you consume the polyols and other chemicals from those fit bars, you feed the wrong bacteria, creating a state of disorder. And a senate in chaos sends messengers of anxiety and irritability straight to the throne of your brain. Your impatience is often your gut telling you it is being poorly governed. Your real desire is not the convenience of the bar. Your desire is for unshakable mental clarity, for a constant energy that allows you to operate at your peak genius from the beginning to the end of the day, as the CEO of your own body, and not in survival mode. In my corporate life, my office drawer was a sanctuary for these 2 imposters. I called them my emergency kit for difficult meetings, a ritual. Before any important presentation, I would eat one of them to have energy and focus. Until the day that, about to present the project of my life to the board, I followed my ritual. And in the middle of my speech, disaster struck. My mind went blank. The brain fog was so intense that I could barely conclude my reasoning. It was humiliating. And it was there, in that moment of failure, that I understood the truth. My emergency solution was, in fact, the emergency itself. The fundamental mindset shift of a sovereign is this: stop outsourcing your energy to the industry. Start cultivating it as your most precious asset. You no longer look for quick fixes in packages. You build sources of power within your routine. A sovereign does not buy her energy. She commands it. The practical tool for this is your personal power arsenal. The protocol is simple. Dedicate 10 minutes of your Sunday to a ritual of sovereignty. In small glass containers, assemble your power kits, a mix of almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and maybe 2 dates or dried apricots. Prepare at least 3. Leave 1 in your office drawer, 1 in your handbag, 1 in the car. This, darling, is not a snack. It is your insurance policy against energy vampires. It's an act of preparation that decrees to your body: I anticipate your needs, I respect you, and I will give you only the elite fuel that your performance demands. The second truth we will decree today is perhaps the most controversial, because it goes against everything your mother, magazines, and even some doctors have told you for 30 years. The truth is, the war on fat was a farce, a brilliant marketing campaign created to make you fear real food and buy their laboratory products instead. And this farce manifests in different ways in your refrigerator. First, let's talk about the oldest trophy of this war: the zero-fat yogurt. Think of your body as an empire, and your satiety as a council of wise advisors. The natural fat in food is the oldest and most reliable advisor, signaling to your brain, we are safe, nourished, and satisfied. What did the industry do? It expelled this advisor from your yogurt, and so the product wouldn't be bland. It put a noisy and addictive court jester in its place, a cocktail of sugar and artificial flavors. It entertains you for 5 minutes and then leaves your empire in chaos, begging for more. And this farce didn't stop at yogurt. It evolved, became more sophisticated, and hides behind promises of performance. Which brings me to an example a friend brought me, which is the definitive proof of how this mentality sabotages you. Proudly, she told me she stopped using coconut milk in her recipes to cut fat. And to compensate, she now adds whey protein to everything. I almost cried, not from emotion, from strategic despair. She traded gold for brass. She fired the wise advisor, coconut milk, and hired a noisy and temperamental army of mercenaries in its place, processed whey protein. This army of mercenaries seems impressive at first. It promises muscles and performance, but it comes with a baggage of problems. Whey protein, for many women, is a trigger for inflammation. The sweeteners and chemicals that come with it are the vandals that create a rebellion in your intestinal senate. The result? That pain you know well. The unexplained bloating, the gas, the feeling that your stomach is always hard. You're trying to lean out for the summer, but you spend the day feeling like a balloon about to pop. The real desire isn't to cut fat. The desire is to feel light, with your digestion working in peace, with a clean energy that allows you to wear tight clothes without fear of discomfort. The mindset shift is, question the intention behind the product, not just the ingredients. The tool for this is the protocol of recognition. Before consuming something that comes in a package, ask yourself the sovereign's question. Was this product designed for my vitality or for its shelf life? The answer to that question is your new compass. An avocado was designed by nature to nourish you. So was a natural yogurt with 2 ingredients. A protein bar with 25 ingredients and a 2-year expiration date was designed for the industry's profit and logistical convenience. One serves you, the other, you serve it. Use your power of choice with this clarity. I know what you're thinking. Sovereign, this is all beautiful, but I don't have time. My life is crazy. I need convenience. And I understand you. I too was once a hostage to the clock. But I'm here to tell you that you've been deceived about what convenience is. You think opening a protein bar in 5 seconds is convenient? What about the next 2 hours of brain fog, bloating, and low productivity that make you have to reread the same email 3 times? Is that convenient? Is that a good return on your time investment? No, it's a terrible deal. You saved 5 minutes on lunch and lost 2 hours of mental clarity in the afternoon. Now, compare that to dedicating 10 minutes on Sunday to prepare your power arsenal. Does that seem impractical? And what about the hours of stable energy, laser focus, and quick decisions that this preparation guarantees you during the week? True convenience for a woman who commands is not what saves you time now. It's what multiplies your time later, by giving you more energy and clarity to conquer your empire. Now, the third and most subtle of truths. Let's talk about that sacred ritual of yours, the green juice, kale, lemon, ginger. And I'm not here to demonize kale. The juice itself can be innocent. The trap lies in how it transforms into the biggest energy vampire of all, not because of what's in the cup, but because of the intention with which you drink it. But Sovereign, how can a juice full of vitamins steal my energy? You ask. The answer is, it doesn't steal your energy directly. It acts more cleverly. It becomes the silent accomplice to your greatest act of self-sabotage. To understand why this plot happens, we need to peek into the command room of your brain. Inside, there are two forces in constant negotiation: your executive CEO, the part of your brain that thinks long-term and sets goals, and your pleasure intern, the part that just wants the quickest, easiest reward. The plot's script begins at 4 p.m. with work frustration. That project that isn't moving forward, that feedback that irritated you. Your internal CEO feels exhausted and overwhelmed. It's at this moment that the pleasure intern sees the perfect opportunity and starts screaming for a quick fix: pizza, wine, chocolate. And your CEO, too tired to argue, looks for a justification to give in. That's when she remembers her virtuous morning ritual and grants herself the famous moral license. The green juice becomes the perfect excuse, the signpost that appears when your brain faces two roads. On one side, you have the path of immediate pleasure. On the other, the Sovereign's path. The path of immediate pleasure is the road your brain already knows by heart. It's a quick and colorful shortcut that your reward system loves, the road that leads straight to pizza, wine, chocolate. But the Sovereign's path, that one requires a bit more initial effort, a pause, a conscious decision. But its destination? It's a reward with a power that chocolate could never give you. It's not the fleeting pleasure of 10 minutes. It's the satisfaction of waking up in the morning, even before the alarm, feeling genuinely rested and with a light body. It's the power to walk past a storefront, see your reflection, and think, that woman in command is me. It's the mental clarity to lead that decisive 5 p.m. meeting with the same energy as at 9 a.m. It's the control to choose your outfit based on your style and not on your level of bloating. That, darling, is the true reward. It's the long-term satisfaction and power that the path of immediate pleasure can never deliver. The juice in this scenario becomes the push that throws you onto the wrong road, draining your energy by justifying the sabotage that would come at night. And perhaps, now you're wondering, but Sovereign, why? Even knowing all the benefits that the Sovereign's path will bring me, do I almost always choose the path of immediate pleasure? Why does it seem so challenging to resist? Ah, darling, the answer to that involves the habits you've built, the environment you live in, and even your genetic predisposition. But for today, the important thing is for you to know that both roads exist, and that you have the power to start paving the path that serves you. We will unravel every part of this complex system of habits, environment, and genetics in our upcoming weekly decrees. But if you're the type who doesn't wait for the tide to rise to start sailing, and you want the complete map now, I have compiled this knowledge into a practical and direct guide. My ebook, The End of Self-Sabotage. In it, I give you the protocols to master these 3 hidden enemies of your vitality. It is your first structured step to definitively retake command. For the women who are ready to accelerate the journey and take the throne, the link is in the description. The mindset shift is, stop using your healthy habits as a bargaining chip for self-sabotage. An act of virtue is not a credit for sin. It's the first step on a journey of congruence. The tool for this is the Sovereign Intention Protocol. Tomorrow, as you hold your green juice, before taking the first sip, pause. Close your eyes and ask yourself the only question that matters. What is the true intention of this ritual? Am I drinking this as a foundation for a day of powerful decisions, or as an insurance policy for the sabotage I'm already planning for tonight? The honesty of that answer is what breaks the spell of the moral license before it's even issued. You can no longer use the juice as an excuse, because you have already declared your true intention. The clarity of that answer is the first step to breaking the cycle. Because in the end, the juice didn't detox you. It just gave you permission for the intoxication that would come at night. And it's that intoxication that truly drains your energy the next day. And to seal this decree, so that your subconscious understands that the decision is final, leave a declaration here in the comments. The spell is broken. I want to see who the sovereigns are that are truly ready to take control of their own minds and stop living on autopilot. So, the truth is this. The battlefield for your energy is not just fought against the obvious enemies like fast food and sweets. The most dangerous adversaries are those who wear the uniform of your allies. They are the imposters in your pantry, the vampires in your fridge, the lies whispered on green packages. True sovereignty over your vitality, therefore, does not come with more willpower to resist temptation, nor from reading labels in search of the lowest number of calories. It comes from the wisdom to see the fraud behind the marketing. It comes from the wisdom to differentiate food that gives you energy from that which makes you crash 30 minutes after indulging. Because in the end, the goal is not just to have a list of allowed foods. It is to walk through a supermarket and feel like a queen in her own castle, and not like a lost soldier in enemy territory. It is to look at a package that screams, healthy, and respond with a serene smile of one who knows the truth. It is the freedom of knowing that your energy can no longer be stolen by a false promise. That is the true victory. That is the power of one who commands and is not commanded. That is the power of a sovereign. The decree is made. The wisdom to see the fraud behind the labels is now yours. Subscribing to this channel is your declaration that you are ready for the next layer of truth. Subscribe and activate notifications, because having the map to the external enemies is just the beginning. In our next decree, we will confront the most intimate adversary, your own mind. We will dive deep into the high performer's paradox, why your success is sabotaging your body. Your empire needs this intelligence.